right now on 18 Eyewitness News.
Will we see any thunderstorms this week? I'll let you know.
New technology is making it easier for the government to keep track of your every move. Also, the city of Detroit is defending their right to file for bankruptcy. And a natural gas well off the Louisiana coast is burning out of control. 15 News Now starts now.
18 Eyewitness News starts now.
We've all heard the phrase, Big Brother is watching you. It used to be science fiction. Now it's reality. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Fred Dawkins. Our top news story of the hour, the government may not be Big Brother, but it can track you almost anywhere at any time. New technology will make it even easier. Jennifer Wishon has more.
If you go to the mall to buy a new outfit, go home and log into a website, then hop into your car with your smartphone to take a road trip, you wouldn't expect those things to be logged about you in cyberspace, but they probably are.
It's hard for you to know all the places where the information is being generated about you.
Data brokers are constantly collecting information about you, and it comes from sources you may not expect. Even this mobile gaming device tracks its GPS location when it's offline. Other gaming systems literally watch you, detecting where you are in a room and monitoring what TV shows you're watching. Companies are collecting specific information about what you buy to less specific yet sought-after metadata. That's basically data about data, or put another way, information about you, like how many phone calls you make, how long you talk, and even the subject of your emails. It allows the government and any other readers to categorize you, determine with whom you associate, and how you think. Justin Brookman is a consumer privacy advocate at the Center for Democracy and Technology.
My concern is if you go to the store, with your credit card, buy a loaf of bread or buy a donut, right? Does that information get collected about me and sold to, told to my doctor? Does it get sold to my insurance company? That's the sort of thing we don't have control over right now. And I think we do. I think people should agitate for better controls, for better laws about this.
And surveillance isn't going away. It could easily become even more pervasive in the future because technology is only getting, smarter. Right now, if you take a picture of someone walking down the sidewalk, chances are you won't be able to identify them using facial recognition software. But that technology is coming, and that has some people wondering if privacy is dead, or at least on life support. And don't forget the growing capability of drones, unmanned tiny eyes in the sky that could follow you without you knowing it, even if you aren't using a cell phone or any other electronic device that can track you. The number of drones is growing all the time. And with the growing capability to track people electronically virtually all the time, there's a move for Congress to pass a new privacy law. But it's a fine line to legislate.
The key is going to be have these smart devices working for us and not against us. And right now, I don't have the confidence that that's going to be the case because people don't know what information these devices might be sending off about them.
Jennifer Wishon, CBN News, Washington.
The majority of all new cars sold in America are equipped with black boxes, which stores critical information about the performance of the vehicle. It also gives federal regulators, police, and insurance companies access to other data to investigate crashes. The U.S. Department of Transportation's National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is now requesting that the installation of black boxes be made mandatory for some vehicles starting as early as September 2014. If the federal agency has its way, all cars will have them by next year. But critics worry the data in the black box is just another example of the government having too much access to private information that can be used against car owners. On Tuesday, Governor Jay Nixon announced the retirement of the third state buildings bonds issued from 1983 to 1987. The Missouri Board of Funds Commissioners took action to close all accounts related to the bonds and move excess funds of approximately $54,000 to the General Revenue Fund. The excess funds are a result of earned interest. From 1983 to 1987, the state issued $600 million in third state building bonds. The final payments on those bonds were made on October 1st of last year. The bonds were used for the improvements of infrastructure, maintenance, and repair projects in Missouri, including nearly $130 million for higher education infrastructures, $48.8 million for correctional facility maintenance, $27.6 million for mental health facilities, $10.4 million for improvements to Missouri state parks, and $43.3 million for maintenance on state buildings. Now Dustin Kopp is here with a look at our first forecast. And last night, Dustin, we saw some electricity in the sky.
Good evening, Fred. Good evening, everybody. Temperatures at this hour are about 10 degrees cooler than they were 24 hours ago. So it's kind of a nice day today, and we're going to continue to see nice weather this evening. Temperatures mostly in the upper 70s to low 80s, so not too bad out there at all. Looking at our forecast for this evening, we'll see a mostly sunny sky at 7 p.m. Temperature of 75, down to about 69 by 9 p.m. with clear skies and 64 at midnight. How high will the temperature go on your Thursday, and will we see any thunderstorms? I'll get you all the details you need coming up later in your Storm Tracker weather forecast.
The city of Detroit is defending their right to file for bankruptcy. That story coming up only on 18 Eyewitness News.
When you're recovering from a traumatic injury, the last thing you need is an unexpected bill. Because most health insurers pay only a part of air transport, Archer Medical has a solution, the Omni Advantage program. For a membership fee of $49 per year, Omni Advantage guarantees you and other covered family members will not have to pay anything that your health insurer doesn't provide. In an extraordinary emergency, the last thing you need to worry about is cost. Contact Archer Medical or visit them on the web to discover all the advantages of Omni Advantage.
You're watching 18 Eyewitness News with Fred Dawkins and Dustin Kopp. 18 Eyewitness News continues.
The city of Detroit defended its right to file for bankruptcy in federal court Wednesday. Lawmakers for the city are seeking to block a series of lawsuits so the city can slash its crippling debts. Ephraim Graham has more.
It's a battle that will determine whether the city of Detroit is obligated to its past or if it can start fresh and have a chance at a future. At the heart of the issue, pensions. Detroit promised the benefits to thousands of retirees, but the money to pay up isn't there. Bill Frezza from the Competitive Enterprise Institute says pension reform is a necessity if Detroit is going to recover.
It's going to be painful for a lot of people, but continuing to kick the can and deny reality can only lead Detroit towards what we're seeing in Greece.
But city workers, retirees, and pensioners are suing. They claim filing for bankruptcy violates the state constitution, which guarantees pension benefits will be paid in full. Last week, a Michigan Circuit Court judge sided with the pensioners.
There's been a violation of the Constitution, and I don't think the Constitution should be made to be Swiss cheese. Once we erode it with one hole, there will be others.
Now, the federal court is weighing in. U.S. bankruptcy judge Stephen Rhodes will consider Detroit's request to put on hold all lawsuits filed against the city before it filed for bankruptcy. The legal question at the heart of Detroit's bankruptcy filing has never been answered in the nation's high courts. But this case could be crucial, considering how many other cities are heading in the same direction. Frezza says for many of those cities, it's already too late.
If you look at the dollars in the operating budget that are going to legacy costs in so many of these cities, there's no way to turn them around. And so they might be able to slow things down, but there's got to be a reckoning, and both municipal bondholders and pensioners have to take a haircut.
For now, all eyes are on Detroit, as it's decided just how far the U.S. bankruptcy code goes and whether it trumps state law.
Detroit is about $18 billion in debt and has a pension shortfall of about $3.5 billion. A 17-month-old baby from Potosi is back with her mother after being taken by her mother's boyfriend. Shortly after 6 a.m. on Tuesday, David Huddleston and his girlfriend, Carolyn Harden, were involved in what police call a rolling domestic near the intersection of High Street and Stone in Potosi. Chief of Police Roy Logsden tells 18 Eyewitness News as the domestic was going on, Huddleston hit a pole.
He hit a pole there, and she had jumped out of the vehicle, and he had continued on, in the car was the 17-month-old baby.
Chief Logsdon tells 18 Eyewitness News that both were found a little bit after 10 o'clock in Wortham. Huddleston was taken into custody and the baby was checked out and given back to her mother. Logsdon says Huddleston may face domestic assault, leaving the scene of an accident, and kidnapping charges. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you any new details on KDKZ18.com and 18 Eyewitness News. Supporters of the National Security Agency secret surveillance programs are pressuring House lawmakers. The head of the NSA is urging lawmakers to reject an amendment that would stop the domestic spying. 7 Republican committee chairmen issued a similar plea. The White House sent out a warning that a tighter leash on the programs would put the nation at risk for another terrorist attack. Meanwhile, Germany is pointing out the U.S. debate reason to expand a 1996 UN treaty that would guarantee privacy. It's also urging European states to support new global charter protecting personnel privacy online. Federal health investigators have confirmed that ticks carry a new virus that sickened 2 Missouri men. Scientists from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention suspected ticks were a likely source of the Heartland virus, which was named for the St. Joseph Hospital where the men were treated back in 2009. A new study, authorized and authored by CDC scientist Harry Savage, says samples from ticks at the patient's farms and a nearby conservation area have tested positive for the Heartland virus. The study was published Monday in the American Journal of Tropical Medicine and Hygiene. There are no treatments for Heartland virus, which causes low white blood cell counts, fever, chills, diarrhea, and other symptoms. Both patients recovered nearly 2 weeks after being in the hospital. The city of Detroit is defending their right to file for bankruptcy. That story coming up only on 18 Eyewitness News.
We all need to take responsibility in our lives and start thinking about how do we want to be treated at the end of our lives. I would definitely say Serenity Hospice Care is an expert in their field. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, there's help a phone call away. If it were me and I was diagnosed with a terminal illness, absolutely, I would choose Serenity Hospice Care.
As I get ready to go into surgery, I remind myself what it's about. It's about God. It's about caring. It's about trust. It's about respect. It's about back pain. It's about neck pain. It's about questions. It's about answers. It's about people, not just patients. It's about you. It's about us. It is Heartland Spine. Changing lives, saving lives. That's what we do.
A natural gas well off the Louisiana coast is burning out of control following a blowout. More than 40 workers were forced to evacuate on Tuesday, but officials insist that the blowout will not be nearly as damaging as the 2010 British petroleum oil spill. No injuries were reported in Tuesday night's fire, and there's uncertainty about the cause and exactly how crews will be able to extinguish the blaze. You can join the Bollinger County Museum of Natural History on Saturday at 2 p.m. to learn about bugs of all things. Patricia Welker says there will be a lot to learn this Saturday.
We have a local bug enthusiast and entophile named Ann O'Donnell who is presenting the program. She's going to tell you all about the tiny creatures that live in your backyard. You'll discover their incredible diversity, and you'll find out what they're really up to. You'll learn not to stomp on all the bugs you see because there are some things you might find fascinating about them.
You can bring in any interesting bugs you found to show or come and enjoy the bugs at the museum. The museum will have some specimens for viewing with magnifying glasses. For more information, call 238-1174. A Farmington man will spend at least 14 years in prison for stealing from grave sites. Circuit Court Judge Kenneth Pratt sentenced 27-year-old Frisco White to 14 years in prison for institutional vandalism and stealing and for violating the probation he received for failure to pay child support. However, the judge will consider placing him on a new term of probation after he completes a 120-day shock incarceration program. White admitted stealing about 35 brass vases from grave sites on April 27th. He also admitted to selling those vases to a local scrapyard. He was on probation at the time of the offense. Missouri senators are weighing their options on House Bill 253. The governor is citing tax cuts contained in the measure and the potential override of his veto as the need to withhold $400 million from this year's budget. Senator Will Krause of Lee's Summit handled the bill. He said the bill would have offered the first income tax changes in Missouri in more than 80 years.
The bill is not going to cost $400 million in the first year, and there is a trigger put on the bill that we must have revenue growth in order for us to fully implement 253.
Senator Scott Sifton of Afton adds that he's glad the governor made the withholdings.
If his veto is overridden, we are going to be right back into budget shortfalls for the foreseeable future.
The annual veto session will be held in September.
Coming up next in weather, I have your latest storm tracker weather forecast. We'll be right back.
More than 70% of the U.S. experience back or neck pain within our lifetime. For many, it goes away within 4 to 6 weeks, but some require more than just time. If you need help treating your back or neck pain, contact Dr. Frank Hayward at Heartland Spine Institute. Dr. Hayward is the area's expert in minimally invasive and laser spine surgery. Tiny incision, big results. Changing lives, saving lives. That's what we do.
Here is your Storm Tracker forecast.
And welcome back. On your Wednesday, we did see some showers and thunderstorms move through, and we saw some interesting looking clouds. This is clouds rolling in Pilot Knob, and we saw some interesting clouds here in Farmington as well at our studio. We saw a pretty interesting cloud cover over the area, and this is from Spencer Hovis, one of our photographers here at the station. Also, he took a picture, and this one's pretty interesting, of some lightning near the studio as well. So definitely an interesting night on your Wednesday evening. All right, temperature across the area on the nice side. It's 77 degrees right now here at the studio under a mostly sunny sky. Feels like 77 out there with current dew point 60 with 55% humidity and northeast wind at 7 miles per hour. So beautiful evening, and beautiful evening across southeast Missouri as well. 77 in Potosi right now, 79 in St. Genevieve, Fredericktown the same, 81 in Piedmont and 80 in Ellington. Across the state of Missouri, we're still seeing that temperature on the nice side as well. 80 in Columbia, 81 in Kansas City, a little bit warmer in Springfield at 83 degrees. All right, here's what our forecast headlines look like. Spring-like weather is here to stay for a while. Temperatures in the low 80s for highs, and Thursday we're going to see some sunshine, so really can't complain about that. Definitely a nice trend in store. There's that sunshine with a high pressure system over the area giving us this nice weather. However, our next weather system's off to the west. It'll scoot our way, giving us showers and thunderstorms for your Friday. Unfortunately, we can't have sunshine on your Friday. Well, that's okay. We have to work anyway. Clear skies tonight, lower 56 to 59 with a light to variable wind. For tomorrow, a nice day, 80 to 85 with mostly sunny skies and light to variable winds. Looking at the big 7-day forecast, still on the nice side, but we do have that chance of some isolated thunderstorms on your Friday, 80 degrees, 80 and partly sunny on your Saturday, Sunday mostly sunny, 82, 81 and isolated thunderstorms on Monday, Tuesday scattered thunderstorms, 79, scattered thunderstorms remain on Wednesday and a high of 84. Don't forget you can get the latest weather information at our website, KDKZ18.com.
A story of financial hope from someone who was drowning in debt. That's coming up today on Focus on the Family with Dr. Bill Meyer.
Well, it's back to school time, and that means time to hit the books and the stores. I'm Stacy Johnson. How about some lessons on how to save? They're just ahead on Money Talks News.
Get your latest Storm Tracker weather forecast daily on the radio. Froggy 96, 95.9 FM, and Kickin' Country 105, 104.9 FM.
We all need to take responsibility in our lives and start thinking about how do we want to be treated at the end of our lives. I would definitely say Serenity Hospice Care is an expert in their field. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, there's help a phone call away. If it were me and I was diagnosed with a terminal illness, absolutely, I would choose Serenity Hospice Care.
When you're recovering from a traumatic injury, the last thing you need is an unexpected bill. Because most health insurers pay only a part of air transport, Archair Medical has a solution, the Omni Advantage program. For a membership fee of $49 per year, Omni Advantage guarantees you and other covered family members will not have to pay anything that your health insurer doesn't provide. In an extraordinary emergency, the last thing you need to worry about is cost. Contact Archair Medical or visit them on the web to discover all the advantages of Omni Advantage.
Most of us have enough trouble staying on top of our money matters. So how does a family cope when faced with a big financial crisis? Dr. Bill Meyer introduces us to a family that took a big hit and survived to tell their story.
We were the luckiest couple in the world.
He had spoiled me quite a bit, and I could just, pretty much go buy whatever I wanted to buy.
That lifestyle came to a crashing halt several years ago when the Pattersons were sued over a real estate deal. They were shocked when a judge ordered them to pay more than $200,000.
And they took all that they could take, and so I could see the whole thing falling apart. And I thought we were going to lose our office, our home, everything.
If you find yourselves in debt, you need to start making some sacrifices and some difficult decisions. Sometimes it can be severe cutbacks, getting rid of a car, buying a smaller house.
The Pattersons made all kinds of changes, most of them not very comfortable.
We cut back as much as we could. We sold our home. Thank God we had good credit because we mortgaged things, cashed in retirement monies.
Sold an RV, sold property.
It took quite a few years and quite a few sacrifices, but the Pattersons finally feel like they're getting back in control of their finances.
We've just recently started eating out.
And this summer, we're actually going on the first
real vacation
in a long time. Some of the lessons they learned to get out of debt will now help them stay out of debt.
We got rid of the credit side of our living, and that if you get to the point where you deal with more cash and you relate to what that cash purchases, that it helps you to move within a budget.
I'm Dr. Bill Meyer for Focus on the Family.
For more valuable information on life's issues, relationships, and family, visit our website, KDKZ18.com, and click on the Focus on the Family link. Back to School shopping is the second largest shopping event nationwide next to winter holidays. That's according to the Retail Federation. With everything you have to buy, you need ways to save money. So money expert Stacy Johnson shows us how.
Pencils, backpacks, paper, and clothes. Buying all you need for back to school can cost a pretty penny. The National Retail Federation reports the average family with school-age kids will spend around $635 this year on back to school. Back to school shopping can cost a ton, but if you know what you're doing, there are ways to trim those costs. Ready for a refresher course on how to save? First, start at home, not the store. Make an inventory of what you already have, then a list of what you need. Next, get the school's list of supplies and dress code and stick to it. Then check garage sales and thrift shops for clothes and supplies and see if your community offers freebies. Now, before you start filling that shopping cart, do some comparison shopping online. You can even actually do some comparison shopping with your smartphone while you're in the store and see if your store has an app or go to its website. Might get some web specials. And of course, if your state offers a sales tax holiday for back to school, that's when you want to do your shopping. Buying in bulk is cheaper, especially when you split the cost with friends or neighbors. Finally, you know this stuff is going to be clearance price when school starts, so buy the bare minimum now and wait. Bottom line, doing your homework and being organized. That's the composition of back to school savings. Want more ideas, specific tips, and links? I got them waiting for you right here at moneytalksnews.com. Just do a search for back to school. For Money Talks News, I'm Stacy Johnson.
Like Stacy said, he's got a lot of information and links over at his website. To get there, go to our website, KDKZ18.com, and click on the Money Talks link under the Lifestyles menu.
When you're recovering from a traumatic injury, the last thing you need is an unexpected bill. Because most health insurers pay only a part of air transport, Archair Medical has a solution, the Omni Advantage program. For a membership fee of $49 per year, Omni Advantage guarantees you and other covered family members will not have to pay anything that your health insurer doesn't provide. In an extraordinary emergency, the last thing you need to worry about is cost. Contact Armchair Medical or visit them on the web to discover all the advantages of Omni Advantage.
Thanks for joining us, everyone, here on 18 Eyewitness News. Dustin and I will be back tomorrow at the same time. Until then, God bless everyone.
When you see news happening in your area, let us know about it. You can call our news department at 573-701-9590 or email us at news@DawkinsBroadcastGroup.com.